It's just remarkable, this thing. The finishing is incredible. Oh man, it is so impressive. I can see why people have been raving about this watch. I wish I'd got it in sooner. I can't believe I've waited this long. This one is ending up in my collection.
Guys, I just found the most incredible watch channel you need to see. It is called I Like Watches. Okay, stop what you're doing and listen up. If you're into GDM watches, Seiko, Citizen, G-Shocks, and everything in between, you need to check out I Like Watches. From the moment I stumbled upon this channel, I wouldn't stop watching it. It's like watching a friend geek out over all these insane timepieces while giving honest, down-to-earth reviews. This guy knows his stuff. We're talking real insights into watches you may not find anywhere else. From the stunning Seiko diver watch to jaw-dropping Citizen models, it's basically a treasure chest of watch goodness.
I've just had 4 watches arrive on my doorstep from Japan. I've imported these via Sakura Watches. It's a fantastic website. They sell JDM, also non-JDM, Seiko, Citizens, Casios, G-Shocks, all sorts. And I identified 4 watches that I wanted to bring into the UK. Unfortunately, I did get lumped with a £147 import tax bill. That is the downside. When you see their prices online, they look like incredible prices, but you always have to factor in some import taxes. Sometimes, very occasionally, you'll get away with it, and yeah, the watches might sneak in without any additional fees, but on this occasion, sadly, they did not. The watch that I'm really looking forward to seeing first is this Citizen. It was launched in 2001, I think. There have been quite a few videos on this watch already, but I was just still very, very keen to get one in and take a look for myself. It is a JDM Seiko, but yeah, you can import these watches via eBay and lots of places. I just like to look at the Sakura Watches website. They have a massive selection of JDM watches, and yeah, I can get lost in that website for hours. Anyway, there was only one Citizen I was really interested in taking a look at, and it was this one. Just look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. There should be a tag. Let me give you that.
I like Citizen watches, right? But this is a beautiful clasp. This one definitely stands out. It's giving me very strong Rolex Oyster Perpetual vibes. Let's watch a little bit more.
Proper reference number. There it is. Got there in the end. NB1050. This particular model is the 59E, the black dial version. It's a sort of Saab killer. That's how some people have described this watch. There are, yeah, certain sort of Saab accents to it, aren't there? I've got a Saab actually. I'll grab that and hold them side by side. Miota 9000 series automatic movement inside this watch. So this is more of a premium Citizen, but it is just gorgeous. Actually, love it. Yeah, I've been wanting to get my hands on one of these for quite some time. So yeah, let me get some plastic off, change the background, do all the usual stuff. I'll be back in a mo. Well, what can I say about this watch that hasn't been said already? Probably not a lot. To say that this watch has impressed me is a massive understatement. I think it's probably the best Citizen I've ever handled. I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be right up my alley. The style of watch, the detail.
Guys, look at that. Look at that. Look at that edge on this watch. It looks just like a Grand Seiko watch with its shiatsu polishing. This is beautiful. The details, the lines, this is very well made. Wow.
On the watch, how it's priced, the fact that you've got the Miota 9011 movement inside this watch, which is basically the Miota 9015, just a slightly different rotor with some cutouts. The specifications, those little touches on the applied indices that sort of play with the light, those little cutouts. Everything about this watch screams quality. Now, I've just checked the Sakura Watches website. They've got 4 color versions available, all priced the same. I think the list price is 82,500 yen. That's Japanese yen. They're selling it at a discount.
Okay, hold up. I just had to quickly mention how this channel is blowing up right now, and for good reason. If you're not subscribed to I Like Watches, what are you even doing with your life? Seriously, you don't want to miss his next upload. And in addition to that, too, I did want to point out, too, that on this watch, that Citizen logo is not the greatest, stamp of branding that I've seen on a watch face. That is kind of bad, and that's definitely a detractor. I mean, yes, there's a lot of other elements to this watch. They're nice, but this just isn't one of them. I'm sorry. The lume, that looks pretty cool. I'd have to see it in person to really have a strong opinion on it. Let's take a look at some more and see what he has to say.
Price just over 60,000 yen, which equates to 380 US dollars or 300 pounds at the moment. Of course, in the UK, I have to factor in around 20% import taxes. So this watch has cost around 360 pounds to get into the UK, but I think it's worth every single penny. If you took that 360 pounds into a jeweller's in the UK and said, I've got 360 pounds to spend on a Citizen watch, you wouldn't get anything nearly as good as this. It's just remarkable, this thing. The finishing is incredible. Oh man, it is so impressive. I can see why people have been raving about this watch. I wish I'd got it in sooner. I can't believe I've waited this long. This one is ending up in my collection. No doubt about it. I think that's the best compliment I can give this.
Okay, guys, look at that. This watch is very, very nice. For $400, it looks like an Oyster Perpetual. And, I mean, for a fraction of the cost. I mean, you could wear this watch anywhere, right? And not have to worry about it getting damaged like an Oyster Perpetual. Not have to worry about its value being decreased. Not that that would happen for an Oyster Perpetual, but regardless, you don't have to worry about any wear and tear. And you can put your watch, your other one, the nicer one, in the safe. You could put it in your watch roll, like as exhibited here. And you could take your Citizen watch out and go have fun and not have to think about it. And sometimes that's what having a watch is. It's just wearing something that looks nice that you don't have to worry about.
Watch. I am sadly in a position where I do need to sell most of the watches that I review. But this one, absolutely no way. This one's going next to my Saab in my collection. The Saab's looking a little bit dated next to this one now, isn't it? Oh, it is, actually. But you can see the similarities. You can see why people have drawn comparisons between these two watches. I actually think this watch is perhaps a little bit more similar in terms of its styling to the super affordable Grand Seiko quartz that I gave away a couple of years ago. Of course, quite different in that the Grand Seiko is a quartz watch and it's a Grand Seiko, so you're going to pay Grand Seiko money for it. But just those applied indices and just the overall look of it, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Incredible specifications as well, which you don't always associate with citizens in this sort of price bracket. Beautiful bracelet, actually. It does feel really nice. All the corners rounded beautifully. End link fit is very, very nice. Not too much jangle in it at all. The outer shell, it's a little bit disappointing, but only 2 micro adjustments, and yeah, it's just a bit sort of cheap feeling and looking, isn't it? But the inner elements look milled. Pin and collar for the bracelet, which I don't mind. It's better than split pins, isn't it? Gorgeous case. Every angle you look at this watch, it's just very modern, not too angular, not too rounded. The transitions between the brushing and the polishing seem really, really good. I will take some macro shots. Polishing seems really bright. The brushing seems very satin-like. It is, yeah, impressive, very impressive. And those applied indices are Grand Seiko-esque. They look that good. Under macro, I'm not so sure they'll quite hold up to Grand Seiko standards, but To the naked eye, it's, yeah, impressive. Right, let's give you some measurements because this is a review. After all, I can't just spend 10 minutes telling you how lovely this thing is. 316L stainless steel, by the way, with a hardened coating. They don't just do that to their titanium watches. They add their Duratect coating to steel watches as well, which is an incredible bonus, isn't it? 38 millimeters, just over. Oh no, yeah, 38 millimeters in diameter. So screw down case back and a pull push crown, 100 meters of water resistance, 10.7 millimeters thick. That's nice. Just over 46 millimeters in length. We've got male end links actually, so let me give you the overall length, including the male end links, 51.6 millimeters. And we have 19 millimeter lugs. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But then the bracelet is so good on this watch that I think most people would wear it on the bracelet anyway. So not too big a deal, and proportionally, it looks good. Right, set up for my wrist then. It now weighs just under 120 grams. Nice. Right, let's test the crystals. So we have sapphire crystal in the front. What about the back? I'll be very surprised actually if it is sapphire. No, mineral crystal. So another small weakness. Comes with a squeak as well. Have a listen. It does happen sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, very nice case back, actually. Very nice rotor. It's polished, though, that case back, so that's going to scratch up a little bit. The steel part I'm talking about. I think the mineral crystal will be fine. But yeah, I like the fact that they've used a different rotor to the standard rotor that they put on the Miota 9015. Just gives the movement a slightly different look, a slightly more premium look, and you've got Citizen there in gold by the looks of it, maybe even the Japan. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I think overall it's about as good as you're going to get from Citizen for this sort of money. In fact, it's better than I was expecting. I think it's one of the best value for money Citizen watches I've ever handled. In this price bracket, you're just not generally going to get this much watch. Yes, there are a few minor weaknesses. The outer shell isn't fantastic. You've only got one piece of sapphire crystal. The case back is polished. Pin and collar in the bracelet. Was there something else? A slight squeak in the bracelet. But yeah, it's really good. Really, really good. Highly recommend this watch. I think actually I might even pick up the white dial version or the cream coloured version. I'm that impressed actually. Black dials are nice. I think they contrast really nicely with this sort of applied index with those little cutouts, those polished facets. You can see the light play on those applied indices, look, and the hands to some degree, although they don't sparkle quite as much, do they? So I do like it in black, but I'd definitely like to see this with that lighter dial.
Guys, this is an incredible watch from Japan. Phenomenal. The Citizen NB 1050. Wow. It launched back in 2001 and it's still turning heads with a Miota 9000 series movement. And like he showed, that weight on it for the automatic winding is beautiful. That's a nice watch, and you don't really see something like that in that price bracket typically. Yeah, the mineral crystal's a little bit of a letdown, but I mean, sapphire in the front, that's nice. That's where it's at. That mineral crystal probably isn't going to see much action beside, the side of your wrist. So it's quite protected just by the nature of the watch being on your wrist. And beyond that, I mean, this watch is really cool. I might have to add one of these to my collection and take a look at where I could potentially find it at. Well, everybody, thank you again for taking a look at this video. Again, don't forget to hit that bell, subscribe, and like button, and comment below as well. Thanks. This is Chronosapien. Peace out.